Time for another fort visit. Today I'm at Ilkley by the River Wharfe in North Yorkshire, and we're actually standing in the middle of a fort. There is a little bit of it to see, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about it as we go around. If you have a look over here, you can see this is essentially the wall of the fort, comes round behind you here, and then down alongside, past the crossroads, down alongside the road down here, down towards the river. Essentially, you're on a fort platform. It's a perfectly beautiful level fort site built in the middle here. Now, Ilkley, firstly the name. The name of the Roman fort we're not too sure about. There are two candidates. The jury is out. One candidate is Olicana. This is mentioned in Ptolemy's geography, and a lot of people believe that Olicana and Ilkley are the same because of the similarity of the names. There's no actual evidence for this. Olicana might be the same fort as Olinacum, which is Elslack, which is in that direction. A stone that was found here mentions Verbea, which is supposed to be the local genius goddess. It may also be the name of the fort. So you may be here in Olicana or you may be in Verbea. Either way, it's Ilkley. Verbea is also the name that gave rise to the River Wharfe. Verbea to Wharfe is not too much of a reach. So, as the same as Malton, where Derwentio Fort gives its name to the River Derwent, it's not too much of a surprise if you had Verbea Fort giving its name to the River Wharfe that runs past. So, as I say, we're in the corner of the fort here on top of barrack blocks. I'm going to go round, I'm going to take you down this way, down towards the river. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the fort and about its history, and then come back up towards the museum. And that's it for part one. Right, moved down now into other parts of the fort. Here again, we're still standing on top of barrack blocks though. I'll say something about the units of what was Verbea or Olicana Fort. The units that were based here, we only know really from the Hadrianic period onwards. It was designed at that point for an equitata unit, which is a 500 strong unit of combined infantry and cavalry. So you've got a very interesting fort because it has cavalry blocks and stables, but it also has infantry barrack blocks. It's a fairly standard Roman system, particularly in an area where you've got hills that are best patrolled by infantry, but also rolling sort of green landscape, which is good for cavalry. A few places on Hadrian's Wall you'll see this, but that's essentially what was based here. Now, we've come down the eastern side of the fort here. We're heading down towards the corner. You can see how perfectly level a platform it is. This has been excavated in places, but not thoroughly. And unfortunately, there is a church and a very large manor house museum built on top of it, so large portions of it will never be excavated. Perhaps when they next do an excavation, we'll find out whether it is Olicana or Verbea. So we've come along the north wall here from the corner where I was earlier. Here you'll find there's a beautiful little marker telling us that this is a Roman fort. It's absolutely right, this is a Roman fort. It might be Olicana. It says it's Olicana or Verbea, we don't know that. AD 79, possibly. Could be anywhere within the next sort of 10 years, probably, of that. North Gate it most certainly is. This is the point where the north wall falls dramatically down towards the River Derwent. You can see, imagine trying to exit this fort gate. Much like the one at Housesteads on Hadrian's Wall, where it looks down a vertiginous slope towards Scotland. Probably a largely unused gate, I would imagine. But the Romans were nothing if not predictable. Every fort has its setup. So there's a north gate here, whether it's usable or not. I'm going to keep wandering along here and head to the east wall, which is the only part of Ilkley Fort that you can still see above ground. Over here you can just see, if you look through the trees, is the Manor House Museum. The Manor House Museum contains things found here at Ilkley and is the site's museum, more or less. So, follow me here along. We've moved past the barracks for the infantry, and if the plans are to be believed, we are now in the cavalry section in this side. Once again, note how the slope falls away to the north, down to the Derwent. Here I am, here I am, on the northeast corner. Oh, here I am on the northeast corner. I'm going to get my amazing camera woman here to follow me down the slope. This should be fun. Northeast corner, there's your turret. I am now descending the slope. You're not pushing me. I am now descending the slope for a very good reason. Right, there we go. I am now at the bottom. And this is good because you can now see that immense slope up to the northern wall, if you will. Look at that. And now just to finish, if you follow me along, I'll tell you the last stages of Ilkley. As I said, it had cohors equitata, combined cavalry and foot units from the Hadrianic period onwards. We know it was occupied mid-2nd century, Hadrianic, Antonine era. I suspect that it was reoccupied when Antoninus, when the wall was pulled back from the north and reinstituted as fort. It was also reinstituted later on during the reign of Constantius and possibly, I think, in between under Septimius Severus. So essentially this fort was kind of given a new lease of life every time there was an imperial campaign in Britain. Under Gnaeus Junius Agricola possibly to start with, and then when Hadrian came here with his plans for his new wall, then when Severus came in to invade Scotland, then when Constantius came in to invade Scotland, everyone who invaded Scotland rebuilt parts of the north of England, and this rather nicely preserved stretch of the east wall dates from one of those later forts. And there you have it.